Our first class straight from my living room. Not all of these classes will have an active participant in them, but today we have Dom with us. So let's take a moment and actually let me say one more thing before we get started. Just a recap of this, our spring schedule is on MindBody, and all of our classes will be on the teachers' Facebook pages. Some of them will also simultaneously be on the balance page, but that's only if Dom is with the instructor, which is not always going to happen. So you can check out our website for the actual classes once they're done on Facebook. And also know that they stay on Facebook for as long as they stay until we delete them. So I don't see a reason we delete them. All right, let's get started. You can begin class today in child's pose or in a comfortable seated position. And so as you enter into the practice today, just start by taking a few very deep breaths in and out. Just check the conditions that you're noticing, right? There are so many things that are happening right now. And a lot of that comes into the internal as well, because our world gets, on the inside, gets very challenging when all of these things are happening on the outside. And so what I would ask for you to do in these opening moments of practice is to let yourself be still physically. And it might not feel like much stillness inside. But when you take these deep breaths in and out, you are telling your nervous system that all is well. And I know that statement might seem right now like it's not well, right? But there are aspects of life that are. You are here. I am here. You're on your mat. And you're noticing breath in and breath out. So if you have chosen to begin the practice seated, make a transition slowly to hands and knees, and those of you in child's pose, on your next inhale, move forward to hands and knees, stacking your shoulders over your wrists and your knees under your hips. Once we're all on hands and knees, take a breath, release the belly and the rib cage and tilt the heart up. As you exhale, round the spine, feeling the tailbone lift and tuck and the head release down. Good. Continue that. Inhale, release the belly and the rib cage. Tilt the heart and the tailbone up. And exhale, rounding the spine. So continue just that movement, making sure your hands are strong against the floor and softening the muscles in the face so that the breath can flow in a continuous way. And so as you inhale and exhale and move the spine, you can also begin to move it in like little C curves as well, if that feels right. And just taking the time to move your body, possibly even in this way for the first time. There's probably a lot more stillness that's happening. These are big transitions for our body and our minds. Now bring the body in just a moment into stillness and pause, and then tuck the toes, just tuck the toes. And then hover the knees, just feel the knees lift up, draw the belly in, take a full breath in, and then exhale into downward facing dog, tailbone is high. In down dog, your feet are hip bone distance, your hands shoulder width, your tailbone's the highest point. And then maybe you move around a little bit in down dog, alternating the bending of the knees. Maybe you even shift forward and back into plank, coming back to down dog. But just move your body in a way where it knows you're taking care of it. And that's the message today, that we're finding a way to take care of ourselves as we also take care of each other. And so just a few more moments where you're moving in and out of downward facing dog. And now come into the stillness of downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, take a full belly breath in. And as you exhale, place just your right foot in between your hands. If it doesn't make it there, literally lift it up and place it in between your hands. Good. And then you're absolutely able here to lower the left knee or keep it lifted. That's your choice. And then sweep the arms all of the way up. So inhale, reaching the arms up. And then you can bend the elbows as you exhale, looking up just a little bit toward the sky. Good. Take a full belly breath in right here. Expand through your hands and then contract in. So when I'm doing that, the elbows are touching and the hands are touching. And then inhale, open up. It's goalpost arms or cactus arms. Exhale, contract in, drawing the forearms and the elbows and the hands together. Do that 2 more times. Inhale to open up across the heart. Exhale to contract it in. 1 more just like that. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, contract into center. And then reach the arms back up again. Stacking shoulders over hips on an inhale. Exhale, hands down to frame the right foot and just step back to downward facing dog and pause. In downward facing dog, notice your breath in. Notice your breath out. And together, take a deep belly breath in. And on the exhale, place the left foot in between the hands. You can certainly lower the back knee down. You don't have to. Sweep the arms up. Stack shoulders over hips on an inhale. And then with an exhale, bend the elbows and cactus the arms. Again, inhale, open up across the heart. And then exhale, contract in, drawing the hands together and the forearms. Do that 3 more times. And the deeper that you breathe here, the more you're informing the body that it's okay. This is just challenging. And so 1 more time, you open up on an inhale, bringing the arms to cactus. Pause here, ground through your feet and the knee. Good. And then the arms reach up on the next inhale. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. And this time, step back to the top of a push-up. So either landing in plank or in modified plank. Good. So the knees can be down. If the knees are down, the knees are not under the hips in modified plank. Take a full breath in right here. Lift up underneath the armpits just a little bit. Good. And then exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Come up into cobra on an inhale. Cobra has bent elbows. You're on the tops of your feet. The chest lifts up. And then just exhale and lower down. So do that again. Come in and out of cobra. You're weighting down in your feet, lifting the heart, and then exhale, lower down. Again, inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower, and then through knees or through plank, go back to downward facing dog. And pause in downward facing dog, taking a full breath in. And a very long breath out. This inhale, fill up with breath. And then exhale, bring your feet all of the way to your hands. That could be walking or jumping. Halfway lift. The arms can reach back or hands to heart center, either way. Exhale, empty out and fold. Press down through your feet, rise up through your hands. Inhale, arms reach all of the way up. And then exhale, empty out, fold forward. Halfway lift on a breath. Draw the low belly in. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to the top of a push-up. You can also bring your knees down. Pause. Soften the muscles in the face. Let the breath flow deeply here. And on your next exhale, lower all of the way down to the mat. Coming through to cobra on an inhale, lifting the heart, maybe even hovering the hands. And then exhale, shift back to downward facing dog. And from down dog, take a deep belly breath in. And as you exhale again, bring your feet to your hands. Halfway lift on a breath. Draw the heart open across the chest. Exhale, empty out and fold. Rise to standing, press down, reach all of the way up. And then exhale, empty out and fold forward. Another halfway lift on a breath. And with an exhale, plant the hands, step back to the top of a push-up and pause. What this part is the vinyasa flow, right? And you can always take that flow out. You don't have to go through the lowering. You can always just go back to down dog. But for now, take a breath in and then lower to the mat in one piece. Come up into cobra. If you have up dog in a practice, you can add that in anytime, and then back to downward facing dog. And then pause, either on your knees or in child's pose. And give yourself a moment here and understand as you come into this practice that it is about self-care. It is about tuning into the body. Yes, it's about moving, but it's not about this big physical workout. And that will happen. You might sweat, but this is about noticing how the body feels and what does it need. And so be gentle, especially if you're just starting a practice or if you have a practice. Just pay attention, tune in. So right here for just 3 breaths, come into silence and stillness. When you get to the end of your 3rd exhale, meet back in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, if you have the space, lift your right leg up behind you. And on an exhale, place the right foot in between the hands. Remember that the left knee can always lower down. Come all the way up to crescent lunge, stack shoulders over hips. And just make sure that your front knee is over the ankle. It's a little challenging if you're underneath your mat's on a rug. That makes things a little bit different. So be kind to yourself in that situation too. And then feel both legs draw into center, not collapsing in, but just feeling this draw in, beautiful. On an inhale, extend the arms all the way up. And then with an exhale, move through that vinyasa flow. And all that that means is you go to plank or modified, you lower halfway or all of the way. Cobra or up dog with arms that are straight and thighs that float. And back to downward facing dog. And from down dog again, if you have the space, lift the left leg up on an inhale. Place the foot in between the hands on an exhale. Remembering the back knee can come down and then sweep all the way up to high crescent lunge. Your hands can be at heart center or they can be extended up. Checking that your left knee is over the ankle, that the back heel is over the ball of the foot. And you're just breathing. You're aligning the body to take care of it. Yeah, and then breathe in, the arms reach up, and then exhale. You can just step back to down dog or move through that flow. And certainly add or take away from whatever is necessary in order to take care of yourself in today's practice. Together, take a full belly breath in, and on the exhale, step walker, jump the feet to your hands. Halfway lift with a breath. Exhale, empty out and fold. Press down, rise all the way to standing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, empty out and fold forward. Halfway lift on a breath. And then move through that flow or step directly back to down dog. You're pacing your breath. Keep the hands strong, especially the index finger knuckles. And then together, because we are together in this practice, no matter where we are, lift the right leg up on an inhale. Place the right foot in between the hands as you exhale. And then stretch the arms up. Good. So with the arms reaching up, take a full breath in and bring your left arm forward and your right arm back to twist. I can't say to the wall or the window, I don't know what your space looks like right now, so I have to get really good with my rights and lefts when I do this. Make sure that on the back foot, you're pressing down into the big toe mound of that foot. Good. From here, come back up to crescent lunge. Take a deep belly breath in. And then come into warrior two. Swivel the back heel down, right arm forward, left arm back. So notice here the weight of your feet on the ground and notice the depth of your breath and really don't push yourself. Don't take it too far. This is not just in the physical practice, but as we learn how to realign in this new way of living that we have in this moment. Flip the right palm, inhale, lift, stretch up and back. And then as you exhale, again, always the option to take it through a flow or step right back to down dog. Together, a breath in, and then a full breath out. Lift the left leg on the next inhale. And exhale, place the left foot in between the hands, helping you get there if it doesn't, and rise up to crescent lunge. To the low belly, draw in. Get weight in the back of the right foot, the ball mound of the back foot, good. And then reach the arms up on an inhale. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Good. Stay open across the heart. Just pause here, flip the right palm, stretch up and back, reach it back. Come back to that twist. Sweep back up to standing on an inhale, and then to warrior two as you exhale. Making sure that front knee is not collapsing in. Soften the skin of the shoulders. Breathe into the weight of the feet. Flip the left palm, inhale, stretch up and back. And this time come into plank, but pause in plank. Knees can absolutely be down. And this is an opportunity to really feel the tangible experience of taking care of yourself, of breathing deeply, of modifying with knees down if that's necessary, of knowing what you're like when you get into a space of pushing yourself too hard. Deepen the breath and be kind. Maybe the knees do come down or you give yourself a complete break. Just 3 more full breaths in and out. And instead of moving through a flow, go right back to downward facing dog. Lift the right leg on an inhale. And again, place the right foot in between the hands as you exhale. Rising all of the way up, take a breath in. Unhinge the jaw and soften. Stretch the arms up on an inhale and then left arm forward, right arm back. Flip the left palm, stretch up and back here. Pause here, breathing into it, even if it's shaky and uncertain. Yeah, and then from here, bring the left hand down on the inside of the right foot and stretch the right arm up. Remembering the back knee can always come down. Just feel an opening across the heart. Sweep back up to high crescent lunge on an inhale, and then into warrior two as you exhale. Swivel the back heel down. Front knee bending 90 degrees outside of the left foot against the floor. Soften the shoulders. And find a focused place to look at. Or maybe the eyes are closed because this is not a yoga studio and there's probably distractions around. But you can find that ease even in the middle of those distractions. Flip the right palm, inhale, stretch up and back. And then take yourself through a flow or directly back to downward facing dog. Pause. On the next inhale, lift the left leg high. And then exhale, place the left foot in between the hands, staying on the ball of the right or lowering the knee down. Rise up, high crescent lunge. Ground down through your feet. This is a shaky time, isn't it? But there is still that feeling of being grounded. Reach the arms up on the next breath, and then bring the right arm forward and the left arm back. Pause here. This time extend through the fingertips, and then bring the right hand down on the inside of the left foot and stretch that arm up. Taking deep belly breaths in and deep belly breaths out. Beautiful. I didn't forget about you. Come back up to crescent lunge on the next inhale. And then head into warrior two. Swivel the back heel down and open up. So as you extend through the arms, soften the skin of the shoulders. You're finding one place to look at, even with eyes closed, because this will help us to take care of our minds as they wander off into places that might be challenging. We do this work today, not only physically, but also of working the brain here. Flip that left palm, stretch up and back as you breathe. And then move through a vinyasa flow or step right back to down dog. So as we make our yoga practice a mindful practice as well, we have an opportunity to not only physically work out. Find a space either on your knees with eyes closed or in child's pose. Because this part of the practice, these moments of stillness, are just as important as the physical. And so maybe right here you notice the feel and sound of your breath. Maybe listen to the sounds around you, even if the sounds around you are unlike what you typically hear in yoga. They're a part of this moment. Part of self-care is also asking yourself, what is it that you need? You take that time to investigate that. And so together, draw in a full belly breath. And then as you exhale, head back to downward facing dog, understanding that you can also just stay where you were, sitting on the couch like I am, right? Take a deep belly breath in. This exhale, step walker, jump the feet to your hands. On an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, empty out and fold. Rise to standing, press down, reach all of the way up. And then keep it moving. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift on a breath. And you can move it through that vinyasa flow or step right back to down dog. So that's plank or modified, lowering halfway or all of the way to cobra or upward facing dog, back to downward facing dog, where you take a full belly breath in and then a very long breath out. Do that again. Take a breath in. And this exhale, step walker, jump the feet again to the hands. Halfway lift on a breath. Exhale, empty out and fold. Rise to standing, press down, reach all of the way up. Keep it moving. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift on a breath. Take it through vinyasa or step right back to downward facing dog. Strong hands. Thighs that stay lifted. And then back to down dog, where you pause and you check in. Maybe you even ask yourself, how you doing? I sound like Joey and Friends. Maybe that's what you're saying to yourself. Hey, how you doing? It's okay. We can be a little silly still. My quirky nature will still come out even in these practices. Lift the right leg on an inhale. And on an exhale, place the right foot in between the hands, staying on the ball of the back foot or lowering the knee. Rise up high, crescent lunge. And then come into that open arm twist. So left arm forward, right arm back. Good. Flip the left palm, stretch up and back. Exalted warrior. And on an exhale, land that hand on the inside of the foot. Good. And the right arm stretches up. And you open up across the heart. Now you are more than welcome to stay right here. You can also lower the back knee down. Make sure the knee is under the hip. We're going to side plank. So you can either stay in this twist, lower the knee down, or roll to the outside of that left foot, stacking the feet. Keep the hips lifted, the heart open, and the breath fluid. Good. Keep drawing in the low belly, open up across the heart. And then if you moved that right foot from the top of the mat, place it back up to the top of the mat. Sometimes I say hoist, right? And on an inhale, lift back up to high crescent lunge. Exhaling into warrior two, right arm forward, left arm back. Pause here in warrior two. Relaxing the shoulders, unhinging the jaw, pressing into the outside of the foot. Finding that one place to look at. That training of the brain to be in a place where we give our attention to one thing. It's an enormously important part of self-care. Flip the right palm, inhale, lift, stretch up and back. Let's straighten that right leg and come into triangle. Your hand can go to the shin, the foot, the floor. Maybe you have a prop with you, and then you stay open across the heart. If it bothers your neck to look up, you can certainly look down. And as you notice breath in and breath out, keep bringing your attention back to physical sensations. And then together, draw a very deep breath in. And return to warrior two, bending that front knee, extending through the arms. Just a transition, flip the right palm, inhale, stretch up and back. And then you move through vinyasa or step directly back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a deep breath in. And give it a long breath out. Lift the left leg on an inhale. And with an exhale, place the left foot in between the hands, stand the ball of the right or lower the back knee down. Sweep the arms up, all the way up. And pause, feel the grounding of your feet, even though the body might be shaky. The arms extend up on a breath, and then the right arm comes forward and the left arm goes back. Make sure that front knee doesn't cave in. It has a tendency to do that. Flip the right palm, inhale, lift, stretch up and back. Beautiful. And with an exhale, place the right hand down on the inside of the left foot and stretch the left arm up. This is a fine place to stay. You're building strength. You're taking care of yourself in the way that your body needs to. Or you can turn it into side plank. You can lower the back knee down, roll to the outside of the foot, and then draw the low belly in and feel a lift up on the left side. Beautiful. Squeeze the inner thighs together if you've got that leg stacked. And now if you moved the left foot from the top of the mat, place it back up to the top of the mat and breathe the body up again into crescent lunge. From crescent lunge, you draw a deep breath in and then head into warrior two as you exhale. Maybe you haven't stopped to tell yourself in this moment, like, you're doing great, right? This body is in the same uncertainty as our minds are in. And so flip that left palm, stretch up and back, straightening also the left leg, and then come into triangle pose. So in triangle, both legs are straight. It's not about getting the hand down to the floor. It's simply the act of lifting up in the opposite side of the body and strengthening the underside of the body. You're breathing in and breathing out. And just like we do every day, this noticing of the shakiness and yet still the breath, right? Take another full belly breath in and then return to warrior two with an exhale. Reflip the left palm, stretch up and back. And this exhale, bring the hands down to frame that front foot, but step the right foot forward to meet it. Halfway lift on an inhale. Exhale, empty out and fold and rise to standing. And then you're going to pause, please, with hands either at heart center, down by your side, or maybe a hand to the heart and a hand to the belly. And as you come into this place of stillness and pause, please also direct your attention to either breath or sound around you, or maybe the weight of your feet on the ground. As we come into stillness, as we anchor in to breath or sound or body, we're taking the time to stop giving our attention to the rumination of thinking. And even if you have to keep giving your attention back over and over again, that's fine. Because you're building this pathway to take care of yourself. Because living in rumination of fear and worry is not good for our bodies and our hearts and our minds. All right, we'll come into tree pose. So in tree, the hands can be at heart center, the arms can be up. Let's start with the right leg moving into tree. So the toes on the right foot can be down on the ground and the right knee points out to the side. You can also lift the right heel below the left knee or bring the toes above. The arms can reach up. They can stay at heart center. But you're grounding down through the left foot. And again, if there's rug underneath you, this is uncharted territory for some yoga mats. So it makes it a little bit more challenging. And the shakiness is good to have because we can practice breathing through it. From here, you're more than welcome to stay here. We're going to meet back in tree pose, or you can bring that right foot forward. And then pause here and head to warrior three. Kick the right leg back. Line the belly button up with the ankle, and maybe the arms stretch forward, or maybe they stay at heart center. Again, the shakiness shows up, the uncertainty. Yeah, it's really good practice for breathing through all that's going on. So if you transitioned from tree to warrior three, come back into tree. Either toes down or heel below, toes above the knee. And pause. Taking a deep belly breath in. And a full breath out. Let the right foot meet the left, hands to heart center, and pause. So every experience that we have, especially on our yoga mats, becomes a tangible opportunity to feel something, to notice it, to practice being kind to ourselves as we maneuver these new waters. And from here, let's come into tree on the opposite side. So the left toes are down on the ground, maybe, or the left knee pointing out, or the left heel below, or the toes above. And the hands can connect at heart center, or rest on your body, or extend up to the sky. And then you just notice this breath. A gentle way of telling your body that we're getting through this. You are more than welcome to stay right here. We'll meet back, or sweep that left foot in front of you, leg lifted in the air. Pause. If you're transitioning to warrior three, you kick the leg back. The belly button lines up with that ankle. The heart is forward. You breathe in and breathe out. Yeah. Maybe it's shaky, maybe it's still. Come back to tree if you transitioned from there. And pause. Good. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, left foot meets right. Bend your knees and sit to chair. Draw your hands to heart center. Splay the toes out. Open up across the chest. And I want you to keep your knees and hips in alignment. And so that's all on you now, since I can't come around and make adjustments. Draw the belly forward. Inhale, lengthening over the thighs. And then exhale, take the outside of the right arm against the left thigh. If that is too much, you don't have to do that. You can even take the right hand to that thigh. So that opposite knee is going to pop forward. Draw the sit bone back. Ground down through your feet. Take 3 breaths right here before you come into a forward fold. End of the third breath, forward fold. Maybe you make your feet just a little wider in this forward fold. You can catch your elbows. You can interlace your hands to your low back. Every time we have this opportunity to come into stillness and pause, it's also an opportunity to anchor back in, an opportunity to take care. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, release the hands down, bring the feet back to hip bone distance. Halfway lift on a breath, big inhale. Exhale, empty out and fold. Rise to standing again. Inhale, press down, reach up. Then your hands will come to heart center and you'll bend your knees and sit to chair. Again, align the knees. Try not to let them collapse in. Use the outside muscles of your legs to liven up. Draw the belly forward, take a breath in. And then outside the left arm against the right leg as you exhale. As you open up across the heart, see if you can bring a bit of softness in as well, that balance of effort and ease, which is so important also as we take care of ourselves. I know you're there. Stay there for another 2 breaths. And this time we're going to come to standing instead of folding forward. So the inhale straightens the legs and reaches the arms up. Exhale, empty out, fold forward. Come into a halfway lift on a breath. And then you can move yourself through that vinyasa flow or step directly back to downward facing dog. And pause in the stillness of down dog. If down dog is too much right now, you can lower the knees and come into child's pose. It's really beautiful practice for tuning into your body, recognizing what's happening, and listening to it so that you can make modifications. Lift the right leg on an inhale. And with an exhale, place the right foot in between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot or lower the knee down. Sweep the arms up, high crescent lunge. Same flow that we've been doing. So the arms extend up, you open up across the heart, and then open arm twist. So you bring that left arm forward, right arm back. Good. Stay open across the heart. Flip the left palm, stretch up and back, exalted. Good. And as you exhale, bring the hand down on the inside of the foot, stretch the arm up, and you can stay here or go into side plank. So you can roll to the outside of that left foot. Sure. The knee can lower down. Good. You can even lift the right leg up. Heck, you're home, you could dust something while you're doing this with one hand, or I don't know, that's a multitasking thing. If you move that right foot, place it forward, top of the mat, come all the way up, high crescent lunge, and then open up into warrior 2. Ground down through your feet. Find one place to look at. Flip the right palm, inhale, lift, stretch up and back. Straighten the right leg. And as you exhale, you have a choice, triangle or half moon. In half moon, the weight comes entirely into the right foot and the left leg lifts up. Triangle is a really great place to stay. Half moon on a shag carpet might be the end of this, right? But here you are now. Maybe it's just the beginning of you learning how to breathe through falling. And a lot of what we're going through certainly feels like free falling. At least for me. Together, take another breath in. And as you exhale, head back to warrior 2. Reflip the right palm, inhale, lift, stretch up and back. And you know it, you can go right through a vinyasa flow or step immediately back to downward facing dog. Pause, notice, ask yourself, what do you need? There's a lot of answers to that since you're home. You could go grab a drink, right? Something to eat. You could have chips by the side of your yoga mat. I would have no idea. Take a breath in, lift the left leg up. And on the exhale, place the left foot in between the hands. I hope somebody's laughing at home because I can't hear anything happening here. Rise up to high crescent lunge. Full breath in. I'll pretend you're laughing. And on the exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Good. Flip the right palm, inhale, lift, stretch up and back. And then exhale, right hand lands on the inside of that left foot. Left arm stretches up. You can stay here or you can go absolutely into side plank, lowering the right knee under the right hip, rolling to the outside of the foot as you open up across the heart. Lift the right armpit just a little higher. Good. You can lift the left leg up, take a breath in, and then place that foot back to the top of the mat. Come all the way up, high crescent lunge on an inhale. And then open up into warrior 2, exhale. Find one thing to look at. And maybe with a home practice, eyes closed is the best because the distractions might become too much or they become an opportunity to practice. Flip the left palm, inhale, lift, stretch up and back, and straighten the left leg. And on the exhale, either triangle or half moon. So you give all of your weight to your left foot and lift the right leg up or keep both feet on the ground. They're both equally as wonderful to do. Just a different experience. together. Take a deep belly breath in. And as you exhale, come back to warrior two with that front knee bent. Flip that left palm. Inhale, lift, stretch up and back. And then exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Step the back foot forward, top of the mat. So we're at the top of the mat standing. Take a breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, empty out and fold. Rise to standing, press down, reach up. And draw the hands to heart center and pause. Feel your feet on the ground. Know that in all of this uncertainty that we're in right now, there are some things that we can still hold on to, the weight of the feet. Even though there's an ebb and a flow to it, there is that sense of weight. There is this breath. So as you take a deep belly breath in and a full breath out, just pause again. And bring the right foot once again into tree. As that right foot comes into tree, toes can be down, right? Heel can be below the knee or toes above. Hands to heart center or extending up. And pause. An option here to again bring the right leg forward. And then another option to move into warrior three if you'd like. These are all options. Opportunities to bring an experience in. And from that place of experience, the practice. Notice the next breath in. And the next breath out. And from wherever you are, meet in chair. 2 feet on the mat, hands to heart center, knees bend. You are more than welcome to stay in chair. You can also lift the heels up. Lower the sit bones down to hover over the heels. We're going into Bakasana crow pose, maybe or maybe not. You can stay in chair or come to standing in mountain. If you're going to Bakasana, hands come down. Could you bend the elbows, lean forward? Could get the weight more forward than you think you need to. Got a soft place to fall if that happens. Take a breath in and land your feet if they were up in the air. Come all the way back up to standing. So inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands return to heart center. Pause. Bring the left foot into tree. So the toes can be down, the heel can be below the knee or the toes above. You are more than welcome to stay here in this place. Or sweep the left foot forward. Maybe pausing here. Or kick the left leg back into warrior three. And as you breathe in and breathe out, and watch Heidi crouching back behind me, sneaking around the house. We see you, Heidi. Take another full belly breath in. You're not invisible. And a long belly breath out. One more just like that. And then meet in chair. Hands to heart center. Pausing in chair. You can stay here. You can come back to standing. Or you can lift the heels and lower the sit bones to hover. The hands come down. Nice wide hands. Elbows bent. Get the knees up on the triceps. Lean the heart forward. Squeeze everything into center. If you have a headstand practice, that is totally up to you, but there's too much to break around here, so I don't encourage that. And when you're done, land your feet and come into a forward fold. Good idea, Dom. Open the feet past hip distance. Favorite forward fold, you can grab the elbows, interlace the hands to the low back. You can shovel your hands underneath your feet. And you do what is to be done to take care of yourself. To take this time to make sure you are carving out time to let your mind rest as well. Because if you're engaged in this practice, but your mind is racing to all the things that have to be done, You might as well just go be doing those things. So be here. Together, take a breath in. Yeah, and as you exhale, bring the feet back if you move them underneath to hip bone distance. You'll halfway lift on the next breath, and you can move yourself back to down dog in a way that suits your body, either stepping right back or moving through that vinyasa flow. From downward facing dog, take a full breath in and a long breath out. Lift the right leg up on an inhale. And with an exhale, place the right foot in between the hands, but please lower the back knee down. Toes can be tucked or untucked on that back leg. Sweep the arms up, full belly breath in. And then come into that open arm twist with that back knee down. So your left arm is forward and your right arm is back. Good. Stay open across the heart. Flip the left palm again. Stretch up and back. A little bit more of a back bend maybe. So the right hand can find somewhere on the back or the left leg to support you, and just stretch back, reaching back. And then from here, come back up. We're going into pigeon. People have very different variations for this pose. You are set up right now for your hands to come down to the mat, for you to walk the right foot across the mat, lay the shin down, and then straighten the back leg. You'll draw the chest forward. Now, if this pose doesn't work for you in this manner, you can take the pose on your back, and you would cross the outside of the right ankle against the left thigh. Yeah. And you notice your breath in and your breath out and the sensations in your body. And from this space, what does it feel like to come into just a bit of ease? Not maybe in the hip, but maybe in the shoulders, and in the jaw, and in the hands, and maybe in the heart, in this space. See if we can find a bit more space across the heart, some softness. You know, we will get through all of this. It's an experience, and it's an opportunity to find new ways to connect not only to ourselves, but to others. To do the work of connecting, of compassion. Take 4 more full rounds of breath before you head back to downward facing dog. And as you make your way back to downward facing dog, pause. Notice the weight of your hands and your feet. And on your next inhale, lift the left leg. With an exhale, place the left foot in between the hands and lower the back knee down, toes tucked or untucked. Sweep the arms up on an inhale. Bring your right arm forward and your left arm back. Flip the right palm and inhale, stretch up and back, and the left hand becomes a way for you to support yourself either on the back or the back of that thigh. Try not to let the front knee cave in. Stretch back just a bit more as you inhale. And then exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot, again setting up for half pigeon. So you'll walk the foot across, straightening the back leg. You can also take this on your back. If you feel like your weight is far over on that left hip, just draw a little bit more to center. And coming into this space of stillness and silence again. Noticing breath. Noticing the sounds around you. After the next 2 breaths in and out, we'll head back to downward facing dog just one more time in this practice. So as you land in down dog, do that check-in again. Ask yourself, how are you? And it's okay if yourself says, not well, right? It might be a struggle. You just say, okay, we're going to get through this. This nurturing piece. This kindness to ourselves. Take a slow walk forward or jump, whatever you choose, through your hands to lay down onto your backs. Draw your right knee into your chest. Let your hands come to your shin. Very little force here. And then extend that right leg straight up. Hands closer to the groin than your knee. The eyes can close. Smooth out the breath in and the breath out. Soften the skin of the shoulders. We're going to be here for several breaths. So if you need something else here, a twist or something else feels right for your body, half of a happy baby, you can do that or stay where you are. Just notice this breath. Taking another full belly breath in. And as you exhale, let that right leg come down to the earth. And draw the left knee into the chest and bring your hands to the shin. If your chin's lifted really high, causing a crink in the neck and a strain in the throat, just softly lower your chin. Yeah. And then you extend that left leg up, hands closer to the groin than the knee. And if you have something else to do here, I don't mean get up and go do something else. I mean something for your body. Do that. A full breath in. And as you exhale, let the left leg land. We're heading into Shavasana. So as you just lay here, feel the weight of your body against the earth. Notice your breath. Tune into the sounds around you because they are a part of this moment. Walk, Don't Run by Rob Bell. Walk, don't run. That's it, walk. Don't run. Slow down. Breathe deeply. And open your eyes because there's a whole world right here within this one. The bush doesn't suddenly catch on fire. It's been burning the whole time. Moses is simply moving slowly enough to see it. And when he does, he takes off his sandals. Not because the ground has suddenly become holy, but because he's just now becoming aware that the ground has been holy the whole time. Efficiency is not God's highest goal for your life. Neither is business, or how many things you can get done in one day, or speed, or even success. But walking, which leads to seeing, now that's something. And that's the invitation for every one of us today, and every day, in every conversation, interaction, event, and moment, to walk, not run. And in doing so, to see a whole world right here within this one. As you pause here and lay here and notice your breath. Please also understand how important it is to see the world inside of you. To really begin this work of tuning in. Noticing breath in and noticing breath out. Getting quiet. Being still. Your mind drifts away, come back to the breath, to the sensations of your body, to the sounds of life around you. Start to slowly roll to your right side. The knees bend in slightly. And pause. I know that our interactions are less and less face-to-face right now. But that does not mean that the connection cannot still be there. That a part of self-care is often connecting with people. And this really becomes a beautiful opportunity to create a community virtually. Gently come on up to seated. Your hands can be in your chest or at heart center or certainly in your lap. And pause. At the studio, we have a mantra that I end every class with. It's a new mantra every year. The mantra this year is, the words you speak become the house you live in. And I think now more than ever that is so important to understand because we are this house, our body. And how we speak and what we say about even the situations that happen, or about ourselves or about others, or how they handle this or how they handle that, can have an enormous influence on this house that we live in. And so we end class together, maybe with hands at heart center, or like I said, just resting, by taking a full breath in and a long breath out. The words you speak become the house you live in. The light and the truth in me honors and sees that in each of you. Together we say, Namaste. For those of you that are joining late or just seeing this, this can be run over and over again. It's available on Facebook and also from our webpage. So, Dom, thanks. Heidi, come on, Heidi, pop in. She's been hiding the whole time here. She was creeping by earlier. So, all right, guys, we are going to be here for you throughout this. And I'll just make one more announcement that our entire spring schedule is on it's on My Body. Heidi worked on it. She just finished it on My Body. And we are available online. So our full schedule is going to be available online. We ask that you sign into classes, that maybe you buy a virtual pass, but also know that it's free. And I'm seeing names pop up. My Dallas friends. You all Dallas teachers better teach some classes too, so I can take class. I would love to create that community, and Kathy, also I see you from New York, so please teach. Thank you. Tempe laughed 5 times. Good. We'll go for 6 next time, Tempe. Like I said, guys, we are in this together, and the only reason that we're asking you to sign in and maybe even pay is so even though like brick and mortar right now is closed, we're hoping that we can reopen it and pay the bills, right? So check out each of our teachers' Facebook pages and also the Balance page. We'll keep you connected if you have any questions. This might get rocky at times, but just stick with us because obviously this is very uncharted territory. If you have questions, you can type them in right here, and I can stay on for a little bit right now and answer some of those questions. Heidi, is there anything you want to add?
I think we're good. Just stay in touch either through the website or through our Facebook pages, and we'll keep you as grounded as we can and get through this together.
Yeah, you also will need to, you'll be seeing our homes, and I said it was yoga with a view. I didn't mean that was like yoga with a view of Dom, right? 'Cause that's what, so we were gonna face this way. We've got a nice view out here, so maybe eventually. I kind of hope not, but we might be out on that deck doing yoga at some point. You never know. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. And there's comments. Let's see if there's some questions coming up. All right, thank you all. Yeah, I'll stay on for just a few more minutes.